The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Good Morning Macomb, we're on Pothole Patrol. We'll tell you the info on rough road conditions around town. We've got the latest information on Monday night's accident that occurred on Lafayette. And we've had some warm temperatures, but can we expect some more snow? News 3's Matt Kablusik has the info on your full weather forecast. All this and more on Good Morning Macomb.
You're watching Good Morning Macomb with News 3, local news and sports with Nico Hefflinger, Mitch Winkleman, Pierce Roberson, and your morning weather report with Matt Kablusik. Good Morning Macomb starts now.
If you've driven around town, you might be a little angry about current street conditions. Good morning, Macomb. I am Nico Hefflinger.
And I'm Mitch Winkleman. Potholes, where do they all come from? News 3's Chris Lovingood takes a closer look.
Macomb has had its share of cold weather this winter, and that cold weather is typically followed by a series of potholes scattered throughout the city. On East Street, Adams, you name it, potholes can be found in a number of different places. The road obstacles were pretty common after last winter, but some say this year it'll be worse.
There's been a lot of expansion. There's been a lot of reports of heaving of sidewalks and driveways and stuff as well. So I would imagine that, yeah, it's going to be a bad year for potholes.
The expansion Bucher is referring to is water, or snow in this case. It seeps into the crevices on roads and then freezes when temperatures drop, causing the water to expand. Once the weather conditions warm up, that frozen water melts, causing the area affected by the water to cave in, making the pothole.
There's a number of different potholes sprinkled throughout the city, much like this one right here. As you can tell, it's pretty deep. The potholes that are sprinkled throughout the main roads of the city are the city's responsibility, but this is the one that's in the Kmart parking lot. That's the business's responsibility.
And Mayor Mike Inman wants people to understand the difference of who's responsible for which roads. That being said, if your car is damaged by potholes the city is in charge of, you could get some assistance.
We have a process in place where if your car sustained damage from, your allegedly sustained damage from a pothole, you can make a claim with the city. The city's insurance company will investigate the claim and decide whether it's something we should be covering or not.
The city has already began filling holes, but still cautions people to drive safely when near a pothole. A common problem that can arise is one car swerving out of the way of a hole into the path of another driver. In Macomb, I'm Chris Lovingood, News 3.
News 3's Sinead Glasgow will have reactions from people around town tomorrow on Live at 4.
And new details on a crash near Chandler Park on Monday night. A car was pinned under a semi just after 6:30. Police say the driver of the sedan was ticketed for making a turning violation on the intersection of Lafayette and Calhoun. Police say the driver made an illegal right turn that caused them to get trapped underneath the semi-truck. No one involved in the crash was injured and no names have been released. And the quality of Western cuisine is going to be put to the test. Tonight, WIU's 12th annual Copper Chef competition will take place in the Corbin Olson Dining Center on campus. The culinary competition will feature 2 chefs from Western's dining services. There will be plate-by-plate coverage, kitchen-themed decor, local celebrity judges, as well as delicious foods. The event is free and open to the public. And over to weather, we hit negative temperatures last night, around -2 degrees. Will it continue to be frigid throughout the day today?
News 3's Matt Kablusik is in studio and is here live to give us a first look at the weather. Matt?
Thanks. It's going to be a pretty frigid day out there today. It's kind of strange. Last week at this time I was standing here telling you it was going to be 42 degrees, and now we're looking at temperatures of 2. As you can see right now, it's only 2 degrees outside with our dew point at -4 with wind coming out of the west at a pretty gusty out of the northwest at 14. For our regional satellite, the good news is that the system of high pressure here in the Midwest is allowing our clear skies and our solar radiation to come in and heat up the ground just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit to keep things out of the negatives for too long. As you can see, our regional temperatures of just a few minutes ago, it's only 2 degrees up in Chicago, -1 in Moline, -4 in Des Moines, and a lucky 18 degrees down here in Cape Girardeau. And for our first look, our wind chills will be back in the negatives, but our temperatures are staying positive for now, and we are going to be looking at a snowy weekend, possibly 3 days of snow. Find out how much snow is going to be in the forecast and my full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, hopefully it's not too much, Matt. But City Council once again discussed the possibility of increasing pay for the mayor, city treasurer, and clerk. City Administrator Dean Torreson presented a comparison of pay between mayors in different cities in Illinois. The highest paid on the list was from Jacksonville at $92,000 a year. Alderman Don Wynn, Dave Dorsett, and Dennis Moon all voted against having further discussion on the subject, but did not get majority of the vote. A second hearing on the topic will be held during next Monday's meeting.
A Washington, Illinois city administrator will be on Western Illinois Macomb campus to give a relief presentation about last November's deadly tornado. Tim Gleason's presentation of reflections on the 2013 tornado 3 months after the disaster will be shown in Stipes Hall, room 213 this Thursday, February 27th. The presentation will give a look into how students here have been helping with the relief effort that damaged more than 1,000 city structures. The presentation will take place from 11:15 a.m. to noon and is here free and open to the public.
Hundreds came out to WIU's campus to celebrate the Performing Arts Society this past weekend.
News 3's got the chance to go inside Performing Arts Society wine tasting.
News 3 reporter Kyle Samuels was at the event and joins us now.
Over the weekend, the Performing Arts Society held one of the most illustrious events with a wine tasting. Participants got to taste many different wines while being surrounded by the who's who's of Medina County.
Over the weekend, the Performing Arts Society held their annual wine tasting event in the University Union. The event is a fundraiser for PAS.
To actually help out children within our area. And what it really does is it focuses on bringing the performing arts to the youth of the Medina County and the outlying areas.
For a $40 reservation, guests receive a glass and a map to navigate through tables where they are given an array of options to choose from, including whites, reds, Zinfandels, Chardonnay, and many more. Attendees were treated to the finest hors d'oeuvres, including caviar and pâté. Entertainment came from WIU students, and guests were serenaded by the presidential quartet provided by WIU's music department.
It's perfect. It's perfect for an evening like tonight. It's nice to have live music whenever you can.
An auction throughout the night featured earrings, his and her autographed baseballs, 50 Shades of Grey wine, and more. This event is one of the biggest breadwinners for the PAS.
No, I think what we'd like to do is get more people, and that's all we can ask for.
For WIU's News 3, I'm Bubba Samuels.
To join the Performing Arts Society, go to the WIU website and search Performing Arts Society for more details.
Thanks, Kyle. Each week we bring you a closer look at local animals that need a home. Today we are introducing you to Jenny.
Today's pet of the week is Jeannie. She's a stray drop-off, and she did have her feline distemper shot, so she is immune to common viruses.
This week's pet of the week is Jeannie. She's a domestic short-haired black female. She was dropped off here December 27th of last year. And as you can see, she's very, very good with people.
Jeannie does not have much time left to be adopted since she has been at the shelter for quite a while. She's only 2 years old and has a lot of love to offer. The McDonough County Animal Shelter is a part of the McDonough County Humane Society, which offers resources like obedience training for your newly adopted animal. Like their page on Facebook to find out the latest animals needing a home. The shelter is located on 101 East Tower Road. They're open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to noon on Saturdays. And remember, it's not just cats that are available for adoption, but dogs too. Tune in next week to find out the next pet waiting for adoption. In Macomb, I'm Franny Smith, News 3.
Coming up tomorrow, tune in for our next Pet of the Week segment. We'll have that story here on Live at 4.
Coming up on Good Morning Macomb is another round of snow headed for our area.
Matt Klabusik is up next with our full look at the weather.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're 25. When did that just do? Select the drop-down menu again. 15%. You're all ready to roll. Example here. So don't panic. You're ready to make your payment. Submit. There it is.
Oh my God.
I really can't believe it. That's awesome. Good for you.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size.
We know what you told us.
There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat. Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Matt, we had some cold temperatures again, more snow. Like, what's going on with this weather?
Definitely. It seems bipolar. We were just, in the 40s last week, and now we're expecting a whole weekend full of snow. So let's hope we could stay positive for now. But for our temperatures right now, we're looking at 2 degrees, even though our graphic at the bottom right says 1. It's 2, trust me. Dew point at about -4 with humidity at about 67%. For our 5 p.m. forecast for later tonight, it's going to be about 21 degrees, still sunny skies with that system of high pressure in place. Dew pressure rising at about 9 degrees with wind coming out of the west, kind of shifting a little bit at about 13 miles an hour. For regional radar over the last 3 hours, just a little bit of snow off to the east that never really affected our area, so not much going on. Like I said, for our regional satellite, we got this system of high pressure in here, clearing up the skies a little bit, allowing the sun to come through, so that's definitely a good thing because it could be a lot worse if our skies were a little bit cloudier this morning. For our temperatures at 9 o'clock this morning, -4 in Des Moines, -1 in Moline, and 12 in St. Louis. Pretty cold temperatures all around the area, not just us that's getting the cold. As for tomorrow, that's when it's going to get really cold. Wind chill values from -15 to -10. Although the high will be 11 degrees, but the thing is, the winds coming out of the north-northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour will increase those wind chill values significantly, bringing us much colder temperatures. For a 5-day forecast, the good news is that this is the coldest day of the week with a high of 11 or tomorrow. But we warm up a little bit this weekend, but we are looking at a pretty significant chance of snow, possibly between 3 and 5 inches. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we all have possibilities of snow with a high of Friday of 24, 21 on Saturday, 19 on Sunday. All pretty high, at least they're not dipping down into the negatives. And for Monday, we close out our week at just a high of 19.
Looking forward to those cold temperatures, but thanks for that, Matt. Coming up on Good Morning Macomb, faster traveling. YWIU students should be excited for the arrival of a new vehicle circling around campus.
And a popular fast food chain will now be serving breakfast. We'll tell you who next on Good Morning Macomb.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000.
You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
WIU students will now be able to get around faster thanks to a new bus from Go West. Peter Hannon, a Go West employee, says that this is the first step in bringing around 8 new buses to campus. While the bus Go West just acquired was bought used, the other 8 will be bought new in about 1 year's time. Hannon says the new addition will be useful for keeping buses en route and getting students where they need to go. And a major fast food company is trying its hand at serving breakfast. Starting March 27th, Taco Bell will be opening its doors a little early to serve breakfast. The fast food chain has already been testing the program in California, Nebraska, and Tennessee. Some items included will be a waffle-wrapped sausage patty with egg and cheese, as well as tortillas stuffed with eggs, hash browns, cheese, and bacon.
The Austin, Texas police chief that made remarks about jaywalking and sexual assault apologizes for his choice of words. During a police briefing, Chief Art Acevedo spoke in defense on the Austin police. Acevedo refers to a video posted online about a 24-year-old Amanda Stephen was in handcuffs and is sitting on a sidewalk when shortly later she was yelling and screaming at police as she was being loaded into a squad car. Recruiting takes a ton of time and effort and coaching to build a championship caliber team, and I sat down with head football coach Bob Nielsen to discuss his style of recruiting.
Recruiting is really a year-round process. Many of the young men that we have in this class are individuals that we identified back this time last year, and through the process of summer evaluation or spring evaluations and fall evaluations, and you're determining which ones are the best fit for your programs, both academically and athletically. And I think the exciting thing for us is that many of the freshman recruits that we were able to sign were actually guys that we had at the top of our board in those positions. And the other thing is it's a class that really demonstrates where our primary recruiting focuses have been, in that we have individuals in this class that are coming from Kansas City, coming from the St. Louis area, coming from Chicago, obviously, and also from the state of Wisconsin, in addition to the local area.
How would you describe your style of recruiting?
Finding the right person. You need talented football players. At the same time, you're always trying to find young men that are going to fit, being the types of students that will do well here, the types of people that will be good leaders in the future of your program. And I think if you look at this class, the other thing that stands out too is that we really recruited some very talented athletes. Many of the incoming guys are multiple sport athletes that have been successful, and we think that projects them as people that will improve very rapidly at the college level.
Tune in next week for part 3 with Coach Nielsen on his thoughts from his first season coaching D1 football and much more.
I know one for personally. I'm expecting big things from the football team in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Nielsen, he has the team on the right path. He just has to get his recruits in, give him a couple years. This team will be off and rolling in the championship subdivision.
Couldn't agree more.
Definitely. Up next in sports, the Chicago Bulls look back at Atlanta, or bounce back in Atlanta, and the WIU softball team is off to their best start in 25 years. That and more coming up next. I really wish I knew more about Western football, but God, they're so awful.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Western Illinois softball is off to their best start since 1989. Currently at a 10-3 record, the offense shows no signs of slowing down and are averaging over 7 runs per game. Leadoff hitter Sammy Marshall is leading the team with a .489 batting average. She has hit 3 home runs and swiped 13 bases. Tegan Walsh's 15 RBIs is already twice as many as she hit last season. And in the circle, junior college transfer Kayla Kirkpatrick has a 4-1 record with a 2.7 earned run average. They play a 4-game series at the Coach B Classic in Carbondale this weekend. The WIU men's golf team finished 8th in the Mo O'Brien Intercollegiate Tuesday afternoon. The Leathernecks shot a 291 during the final round, giving them a 3-round score of 895. Junior Nate Davis led Western with a score of 219 to finishing tied for 16th place. Davis carded a 70 for the day. Freshman Andrew Blackburn and senior Dan Beidle both placed in the top 25 of the tournament. Blackburn finished 19 with a score of 220 after shooting a 71 on day 3. Beidle finished shooting 222 after a day 3 score of 70. After a blowout loss to the Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls traveled to Atlanta to face the Hawks, who snapped an 8-game losing skid Saturday in a win over the New York Knicks. Both teams were without a lot of players for this game. As you see DeMar Carroll, the opening possession of the game, former Chicago Bull Kyle Korver giving them the hot sauce, extending his 3-point record to 125 games. Check this out. The end of the third quarter, DJ Augustine from half court banks it off the window. The Bulls take a 1-point lead going into the second half. DeMar Carroll, a long 3 over Carlos Boozer to give Atlanta a 2-point lead, but you'll see here he will become the GOAT of the game after he fouls Kirk Heinrich on a 3-point attempt. That would send Heinrich to the line, and he would knock down all 3 free throws to give the Bulls a 1-point lead. 15 seconds to go. Jeff T is going to drive down the baseline, but he steps out of bounds. You'll see a closer look right here. Jeff Teague with his left foot stepping out of bounds. And on the last play of the game, the Hawks need a 3-pointer to tie it. Joe Kim Noy, great block. And the Bulls will win 106-103. They have won 6 of their last 7. On to college basketball, where number 2 ranked Wichita State is this year's mid-major darling. Now just 2 games away from the first undefeated regular season in 10 years, the Shockers came into Peoria Tuesday looking to avoid a shocking upset at Bradley. You see Wichita State's going to drive the lane. Here's Ron Baker with the flourish to give Wichita State a 7-point lead. Baker still working the team right there. He's going to pass it onto the wing for the 3-pointer from Carroll to give Bradley a huge lead at halftime. Baker not done grabbing the assist. He had 15 points as he passes it there to Marks for a long 3-pointer. And once again, Bradley with the steal. And then the throwdown from Jackson. Bradley Wichita State a 69 49 win over Bradley. They finished 30-0, the first 30-0 team since the 1990-91 UNLV Running Rebels. I know our news director will like that. Briefly in sports, New York Knicks guard Raymond Felton posted bail Tuesday after he was charged with 2 counts of felony possession of a weapon. Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston went 0 for 2 at the plate in an exhibition game against Florida State and the New York Yankees. And finally, check this out. This happened during Monday's game between the Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks. Knicks guard J.R. Smith has already been fined $50,000 for trying to untie opponent's shoelaces. He's decided to move on to headbands. You see, he's giving Mavs guard Vince Carter a little bit of fun, pulling down his headband. Dallas will get the last laugh, though, with a buzzer beater win in Madison Square Garden. You just can't get enough of J.R. Smith antics. He is hilarious, you guys.
He does have some crazy stuff, but heck of a game, heck of a day for basketball yesterday.
Oh,
Bulls,
definitely.
no signs of slowing down, and how about Wichita State?
Wichita State has been one of the surprises. I wouldn't put them in my top 4. I would have Florida definitely up there. They have an amazing team. Arizona's still good. Syracuse, although my Dukies did beat them on Saturday, Syracuse is still a fine team, and there's still a struggle out for that 4th number 1 seed. I think Wichita State can take it.
How about that Ron Baker, man? He's a PTP. He's a primetime player.
Ron Baker, in the words of Dickie V, he is a PTPer. He is an amazing player. But Wichita State, they're going to have a tough time getting through that tournament.
All right, thank you, Pierce.
Yeah.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Macomb, there's still a chance to help WIU earn $100,000.
We'll show you how you can do your part to help WIU and Leatherneck Nation.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine. Negative.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
With that shoulder, you're gonna pick up that track. Really?
Keeping you from working, playing, or just plain moving.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people who live with pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Whoa. I'm going running. I'm going running.
Got to see this. Go on, pick it up.
Fight for your mobility. Find your own inspiration at anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Come on. I'll take it from here.
Oh, wow, sorry about that. We were just doing our part to help Western Illinois University win $100,000 on scholarships.
That's right. Do your part, too, by tweeting or Facebook #6fan and #WILL to cast your vote.
Or by visiting ncaa.com/6thfan. Be sure to vote, tell your family, and tell your friends. #6thfan, #WILL.
Well, that's all we've got for you this morning. For Matt Kablusek, I'm Mitch Winkleman.
And for Piers Roberson, I'm Nico Hefflinger. Keep in touch with us by liking our Facebook page and following us on Twitter at News3WIU.
Catch us tomorrow for Live at 4 here on Channel 3. But until then, have a good morning, Macomb.